You make the best of it. You do what you have to do.
Big Love is part of a project that the playwright Charles Mee has called the Remaking Project. And he believes that there are no new plays. He believes that every script, every Shakespeare play is derived from something else, and that artists collect as they go along, reworking art that already exists. So this play is actually based on the oldest play. It's a Greek tragedy called The Suppliant Women by a playwright called Aeschylus. And Charles Mee has taken that as his plot, which is about 50 brides who are engaged to 50 brothers who are the bride's cousins. And this is an arrangement that's made before they were born. And the brides flee the grooms, and then the grooms come after them. And it's about what happens when the grooms come after the brides. Now, this piece is really interesting because it is a complete ensemble piece. There are the three main brides, and then there are the three core grooms.
Your father made a deal with my father before you were born, Diana. You're engaged to me, and I'm going to marry you.
Constantine's kind of like a real dynamic type of character. He's kind of alpha male-ish, if you will. He's kind of like the head honcho of the brothers, but all the brothers play a distinctive role that blend together. Constantine just brings the element of that ultra masculinity. He knows what he wants. He's unquestioning, unsentimental. He's come here for his brides, and there's really nothing to talk about.
She kind of has like the strong, hard-set view on life, the need to protect her sisters, and then with the rest of the age dynamics, like Lydia is the mediator.
Yeah, the middle child, so it's the mediator, the one who's always trying to like keep the wars at bay, because these two are bickering quite a lot.
Nikos is really wishy-washy, sort of balancing out the other ones, caught in between sort of the dominant and the subordinate, if you will.
Why did you run away from us? What? We were waiting for you at the church.
You can't force us to marry you, Nico.
Force you? We thought you were coming.
But he wants to do the right thing. He's the good guy, if you will.
My character mainly just wants everybody to get along, and you know, I kind of do whatever my brothers do, you know, kind of just hoping that things are supposed to be going the way they're going, because, you know, our wives left us, and, you know, we're just chasing them down, but, you know, it's kind of an adventure, you know, going through these with my brothers, and that's the best way to look at it.
I'm kind of just, I'm really ditzy. I also think I kind of just lighten the mood a little bit.
You know, we've been traveling, and when you've been traveling, you hope that at the end of your journey you might find some oil and moisturizing body wash, or some sheer ground shampoo and conditioner for highlighted blonde.
And then the rest of the ensemble is filled out by two older actors who play multiple roles, and then another young man who actually sings in the show. He sits on top of a piano and sings a song like a torch song. They work incredibly well together as an ensemble, and I've added in an additional 11 performers to fill out the 50 brides for 50 brothers.
The story doesn't necessarily have like, oh, here's the good guy and here's the bad guy. It's not like that. I think it helps in being relatable in that, yes, there's, say, a protagonist and an antagonist, but everyone is relatable.
It has so many points of view of characters, and they all tell love in a different way, and I like that. It's a totally smorgasbord of this world.
I knew that I wanted to approach this differently because it wasn't a traditional play. It doesn't follow the traditional dramatic structure. And from there, I knew that this piece needed a lot of dance sequences. It has these moments in it that are sort of these performance art dance moments. I got in touch with one of our alumni, Malaysia Estrella, who's now a professional dancer in San Francisco. And he works with the Joe Good Performance Group and a dance group called Project Bandaloop. And Project Bandaloop is actually known for rappelling off of skyscrapers and cliffs like Half Dome in Yosemite. They rappel off and they actually dance horizontally on the cliff. And I asked if he would be interested in choreographing, because he does a lot of contact improv dance, which is more about actors sort of slamming and hitting the ground and bouncing off of each other than it is something graceful and floaty like ballet.
All our choreographed movements work so well for acting.
It helps us kind of get out of our heads as actors and just let the text and the breathing and the movement speak for themselves instead of being all up in here and Stanislavski-like and being like, this is about my character. It's about emoting. It's about showing what's happening with your character and sharing it with the audience.
You know, you think about like motivation going into a scene. There's another section in the play where we literally throw ourselves down on the ground multiple times. And so at the end we have to reach this cathartic moment where we're just breaking down, where we're just emotionally vulnerable. And you can honestly use that and just feel like, yeah, I'm really tired.
Because it really is just, it's power and strength and it's pure emotion.
When the audience sees this show, they are going to be astonished at how physically demanding and challenging this choreography is. And these actors just fearlessly, over and over and over again, do these complex movement sequences.
When the crowd gets like a sense of like these acrobats and these you know, exciting, you know, things that we do and you know, expressive choreography, it really impacts like more what's going on and kind of gives the audience something more to look at instead of just hearing.
Charles Mee writes his script in a way that he sort of leads you through some of the performance art segments in the script, and yet he just gives you a series of evocative images. He doesn't tell you how to make it happen. And then Malacio and I, and his assistant Jessica Swanson, who also dances with the Joga Performance Group, we started collaborating on what we thought these moments in the play looked like. And then Malacio and Jessica sort of ran with it and actually created the movement. And I don't want to give away everything, all the fun secrets, but let's just say we are using his rappelling skills, and there's going to be some aerial maneuvers in the play.
It really gets the energy up for the whole play. Just knowing that you can come on stage as the three guys and just bring it up like that, that's exciting to do.
Yeah, the scenes really give us a lot. Like each scene we get when we make our entrances, we get something giant to work off of.
It's so fun being in a play like this. And I love to go around and say how stylistic it is, but I almost feel like that has a negative stereotype associated with it. Because a lot of times when people hear that a play is stylistic, they think of like really weird, you know, off Broadway black box, people writhing on the floor and crazy crap like that. And that's not what it is. But it's somewhere in between like your typical straight play adaptation of, say, Importance of Being Earnest and doing a full-on like flash musical.
And it's a fun, exciting, poppy, kind of sexy young play to open the season with.
There's a lot more stuff out there than just straight plays and straight theater.
Or cookie cutter, My Fair Lady, Grease, you know.
It gives
expect.
this community a chance to see what things can be done, and I think it's a great way to provoke emotion and provoke reactions from audiences.
This show has a lot of social commentary. It's a play that you can go to and learn from, walk out into everyday life, and kind of reflect on how this play and society, you know, reflect on you. It's a good play to go to with a significant other because it talks about love, human relations, how humans view love and the role of the male and the female. So it's real dynamic and it can really relate to you on a very human level.
The audience will definitely be in for a different experience than any other show.
But I think that I wouldn't be satisfied if I was having just a regular play where I can just stroll onto a living room set. I'd rather come through just the ceiling, grappling down. Much more interesting.
Opens on the 7th, October 7th.
Closes on 2
16th.
p.m. on the 16th, which is a Sunday.
There is an age warning on the show because there's some nudity. It's what I call practical nudity, and there is some strong language. So this isn't a show for young kids. The age warning is 18, but we leave that up to teenagers to decide for themselves.